I'm doing alright.
Doing pretty good? How are you doing? Thanks for being on the show, by the way.
No problem, no problem. How are you doing today?
Dude, you're like dressed all spiffy and stuff, man. Representing?
Not really. More like I intend to go down to the mall afterwards and dress up and meet up with some friends. So it's kind of like a Halloween thing.
Oh, gotcha. Is that a costume for a certain Is that a certain costume then, or are you just dressing up?
Nah, just dressing up. I mean, for me, it's a costume. I don't dress up all that often.
There you go. Well, yeah, let's get into it, man.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Alright. My name's Chris Leisure, and this is the drink. I don't know.
No, it's alright, that was awesome. Wait, let's do it together, ready?
Alright.
This is Chris Ledger,
And you're watching the drink.
The drink, we're clicking to the environment, we're clicking to the environment, we're drinking to the environment.
Awesome. Yeah, so for everyone that doesn't know you, like, give us a little background on you. Like, obviously you're Chris, but like, kind of give us a brief.
When do you want me to start?
What timeline? That's up to you, man.
Alright.
Sorry from, I don't know, a couple years ago or something.
Alright. I'll start when I started working for BCC. When I started working for BCC, I did CAD and all this other stuff for them. And then I got hired under their NASA program. So I was paid for by NASA to work on biofuels and biotechnologies and sustainable projects. So we were working on making biodiesel and then figuring out what to do with the glycerin after the biodiesel's been made. So we use that for composting, and then we use it to make soaps and other things like that, of which I still hold the recipes. One of my favorites is the bleeding skull soap.
Bleeding skull soap?
It's a soap that uses biodiesel glycerin, but because of the way it's made, it's a solid bar. However, when it's in contact with moisture, glycerin gets pulled out of the soap. And what we do is we actually, we have maybe a dye or something inside the glycerin, so a nice little red dye, so you can make little skulls, little white skulls or brown skulls or black skulls.
So like an actual skull.
And then if you sit in the shower, it'll sweat. So if you have a hot shower, the steam will make it sweat red. So it's like it's a bleeding skull.
That's kind of cool.
I know. So I have a recipe for that, but that's not going anywhere right now. Currently, I've been focused more on a patent pending for firefighting.
Really?
So I've been working on that, yes. Good
what,
news.
What is, like, briefly say, like, what it is? Because I don't want to, like, give any, like...
No, it's patent pending. It's fully protected
okay.
at this point. So I already have my first filing date and everything like that.
Oh, cool. So what is it, like, what is it exactly for firefighting? Like a...
What I did is I redesigned... No. I actually redesigned the face mask itself, the gear on the top.
Oh, wow.
So what I did is I combined the Nomex to the flange of the mask. So the flange is the rubber that goes around.
Oh, okay. It's for sealing.
And then I connected it using snaps to the flange. So then you pull the hood over. And then after that, in the back, it's even better. I've added a buckle to the gap.
I've never worn a firefighter mask, so like, I
worn
generally
a
know what you're
mask?
talking about.
Have you worn a scuba mask?
Kind of. I mean, like one of those snorkeling masks, not like a...
You know how the rubber's in the back,
the
like
same
this?
concept is like similar, right?
Yeah, you know how you have the rubber in the back and you like this?
Yeah.
What I did is instead of tearing your hair out every time you gotta pull it and secure it and all that stuff, you only have to secure it once manually, but then you can use the buckle in the back to save that setting, and then you just pull it over.
Oh,
click,
that's cool.
and then
so it's like almost like preset.
It's preset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to keep those.
Not only is it preset, but the fact is you can click the back off and just pull the whole thing off at once instead of having to fold down, pull off.
That's pretty sick.
Oh yeah, it makes a lot.
They don't have that?
No, are you kidding? If they had it, I would buy it. If they had it, I would have bought it. And I said, screw this, I'm making it.
So like you got this idea because you are a firefighter yourself too?
Volunteer, yes.
Oh,
about 10 years now.
10 years, shit.
Yeah, it's 2018, so I started in 2008. I was around 18 years old, 18, 19, so I started around then. And yeah, it's about 10 years on and off volunteer. past couple of years I haven't been able to do much because of a lot of stuff family-wise, but I've been going more full-time into this. Because if I can at least get this done, maybe I'll make enough to buy us a new truck. Our trucks are falling
Well, I mean,
apart.
if this stuff is like popular, then you'll be able to do that no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, I don't know how much a fire truck is, but I'm gonna guess it's pretty freaking expensive.
I would say the cheapest would run you about $450,000. And those are for really small ones for a specific
Donation,
operation.
anyone?
If you're talking about an engine and a pumper, particularly an engine, that has storage capability of water with the whole pump system, at least $1 million.
Yeah, I wish I
If you want a good one.
wish I had $1 million.
But it depends on how
awesome.
big you need it. But yeah, anyway, so going forward from that, biofuels, biotechnology. So I got involved in the whole environmental thing for a while. I still do it, but it's more like I don't have the money to really push into anything. And as much as as much as I like to be an activist on certain things, I realized, okay, I could spend my time being an activist and just standing out and protesting, or I can spend my time going into the research, reading the CRC or the chemical reference category book.
The chemical reference to inventors or something.
It's the Bible of chemicals.
Oh, that's cool.
I call it the Bible of chemicals. It's everything. It's like this big. And it lists everything.
It's
It
like
lists
that
the
big?
structures. It's this thing. Well, mine is. I have the 1996 one, or is it? No, 1996 or the 2004. I don't remember which one, but eventually I'm going to get the newest one. And they're about $200, which I'm surprised they're not cheap now. But they list every chemical, the structures, all the emphasis, everything. Everything you can think of.
You're just like a research junkie.
Well, maybe.
And
It is what it is. But yeah, going into that, I'd rather be doing something and developing something than just constantly protesting and stuff like that. I mean, you can protest as much as you want, but until you actually have something viable, something where you can present that, yes, this could solve something or a problem, there's nothing that can go on.
you want to actually do
You need solutions.
Yeah.
Protesting is not a solution. That's protesting is more of a stopgap. It's saving the time, but it's not going in any other direction. It's just holding stuff off before it eventually goes through. Good example is when people protest the pipelines. The pipelines are still going to get built. You're only going to hold it off for maybe a month or two by chaining yourself there. But in the end, they're still going to get built because people need fuel. They need energy. They need to be able to. You need to have your natural gas. You need to have your oil just to heat your house in the winter because it's damn cold out here. I mean, New Jersey's the worst. It goes from 3 digits until almost negative temperatures.
Welcome to New Jersey.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Welcome to New Jersey.
You literally get like every season here.
Yes, we
I
do.
love it.
We even get mud season.
Yeah.
Mud season, it exists. It's like a week.
It's a thing.
Russia gets a whole like 2 seasons of mud, but we get it about maybe once a week.
That's a little bit
Well,
of a
not
different
once a week,
climate, though, you know?
Well, it is. But at the same time, you got to figure with global warming going on, Russia's going to be turning into mud a lot because all that ice is just melting.
So this has been a very touchy topic, you know, as you probably know. But do you believe in climate change or global warming, whatever the hell you want to call
Of course. I mean, heck, if you put more stuff into the atmosphere that it can take out, of course it's going to change it. I mean, but the thing that I see is, I don't think global warming is actually going to kill us. I think there's going to be a limit to how hot the Earth is going to be able to get because unlike Earth is a little bit further than Venus was. So Venus and Venus. Mars as well. Mars is a lot further, so it's kind of like it couldn't really hold its atmosphere, and it's not as big as Earth, so it didn't have that gravity. So it's like, Earth is a little unique. You can look up a few things on equinoxes, season changes. Like Earth doesn't go around the sun as a circle; it's elliptical, and that elliptical changes over time.
Isn't it like more like oval like?
It is oval, but the thing is, it'll go circular and then it'll go ovalish, and then it'll go circular and it'll go ovalish, and it changes over a period of like 10,000 years, something like that.
Really?
Oh yeah, it fluctuates. Earth isn't the same. Good example is, and we also have our tilt too, and that tilt does change as it goes around. It changes around. So we have, I think, if you do some research, you have periods of interglacial periods. Those are called ice age periods.
Ice age.
So we have our ups, our hots, and then we got our colds, and then our hots, and then our colds, and that's how, I think, if I remember correctly, the land bridges where people could come over across the Alaskan portion because of, well, it was all snow and ice, and they were able to cross it. Sorry, my mind's just going a little bit around and around and around. There's a lot of information.
There's a lot going on.
I highly recommend, and I love these guys on YouTube. They are SciShow.
SciShow?
SciShow.
I think I actually watched that a couple times.
When
I was back in my teen.
They dumb it down.
Well, they gotta simplify that, you know, like
for kids.
Oh.
And it makes so much sense. At the same time, you also get references, knowing that they're not just talking out the butts.
Yeah. Because coming from a researcher yourself, like you can talk about so many things, but like that's the whole like part is like if you could communicate that well to people that are not as sciencey related or like that aren't into that science like you are, like that's the whole like that's important to do is the way you can communicate to someone. It's just like teaching. If you can relate it to someone when you're teaching it to them, then you're good. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Relating it to whoever you're talking to or communicating to.
But I will say, global warming isn't really going to bother me all too much, and the reason why is there are things in process right now to solve that issue. One of my favorites is there's a video of a chemical company, or is it a chemical company or a fuel company? I don't know, they're saying to me. They're developing fuel. They're developing fuel by pulling carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and then hydrolyzing it. So they're using solar to hydrolyze fuel. Now you think, well, why would you use electricity to make hydrocarbon fuel again? Simple. An electric car is what, $40,000. Maybe if you get a Prius that's fully electric, probably get away with like 20 grand. Right?
I think you're pushing it.
Well, I mean,
like from what I've heard is like,
and they got Tesla.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tesla. The Model X is like
it's expensive. It's so expensive,
and they're also on back order too.
Now here's the thing.
But anyway, that's a whole.
How many people drive cars?
Like everyone.
All right.
Or
now,
at least like 90% of the population does.
So, what is going to be the cost to get everyone into an electric vehicle in 10 years? You're talking trillions of dollars. If everyone bought a car and like sold their car and bought a car, it would put everyone in debt. You would be 100% debt
right now. But we need to like replace that,
Picture the person
that would be
that's
a lot of
working.
recycling of scrap.
But picture the person that's working 3 jobs, trying to
and still
that has to get an electric car that costs almost putting down 20% on the mortgage of a house. Yeah, and you're expecting people to trade all their cars into electric vehicles. That's not going to happen. It's maybe in a couple hundred years. But that's not going to happen soon.
According to the governmental,
and we pay those taxes.
Yeah,
that's our money anyway. And in the end, it's not going to be enough because the engineers are going to want to get paid. If I made you an electric car and it cost me almost most of the time, and I went to school and I paid $100 grand or whatever in my degree, I want to get paid.
Yeah,
I want to pay off my debt.
Everyone wants some of that. Everyone wants it.
I mean, people could say, well, just print more money. Well, the problem is when you print more money, unless multiple nations agree upon this, that money is going to lose value significantly. And then you have trade.
Well, that's
and all
why
that
Bitcoin's a
stuff.
whole new thing now, and it's still going up. But that's a whole nother topic.
Screw Bitcoin. I'm good. I'm good. I want physical. I want elements. I want gold.
You want the
platinum,
the
silver.
material.
Heck, I want carbon. Give me carbon. I can make it into diamonds. Give me that.
Here you go, Chris. Big two.
It's all right. Let's just get a big press, big steel diamond press, and a nice what's it called? Can't remember that. Upside down triangle. You got two upside down triangles, one up, one right up, and then just press it down. Put some peanut butter around it. Make your own diamonds, and then you ruin the diamond market. Now that diamond that used to be $1,000 is now like $2. Done.
Great job. But you were saying before on how you're totally into the whole renewable energy, like alternative energy stuff.
Yes.
What?
Remember I was saying earlier, kind of went off tangent about pulling carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and turning it back into fuel again using electricity?
Yeah, how do you do that? Is this one of your other patents, or this?
No, there's a company that's already doing it.
Oh, okay.
So they're already setting it up, and they're able to make fuel and sell it at the same price as what it would take to dig it out of the ground. But it's a lot safer because all you have to do is just set up machines on the top, and then it just pulls down and then rehydrolyzes the carbon dioxide, and then you got your hydrocarbons, and then you can use that as a liquid fuel, and you can put it in your car that already exists right now. So you're selling carbon neutral fuel. So the carbon that's being pulled out is just going back up and down. We're making trees and liquefying their energy.
That process is a circular motion. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's a full circular motion, and that's why I'm not too worried about
reuse
yes.
our materials.
However, methane is a different thing. Methane, methane, it's whatever you want to say.
I've always known it as methane. That's
methane,
like almost calling like our me and Frankie went to college up in Union University. It's like cane, potato.
I know chemistry professors who call it methane and call it methane.
I guess that
it is what it is.
Yes.
Yes.
But anyway, keep on going.
As far as that's concerned, I'm not too much of a fan of the whole fracking process. In order to get the methane or the gases, the natural gas out of the ground, and the reason why.
What is fracking?
Fracking is like taking a pipe and going all the way down. Instead of having liquid oil, you have gases trapped in shale or rock. So you pound that rock, or you flood it with a chemical to separate off the gas, and then it comes up through the path of least resistance where you drilled, and it goes right up, and then you collect it, and then you can condense it and send it to wherever you need it to go. So that's natural gas right there. But the problem with that is, when you take stuff out that's under pressure, that's filling in a void, and you're pumping other stuff in, the other stuff that you're pumping in probably doesn't have the same density or the same consistency or viscosity of that material, or the friction. Okay. Picture the friction. So when you take all that stuff out, good example, Pennsylvania. They've been getting hit with earthquakes left and right. Why? Because of fracking. When you're taking all that stuff out that's under pressure, and you're getting it out of the ground, what's going to happen to all, and Pennsylvania's really rocky, like heavy rock. What's going to happen to all that heavy rock that's sitting on an empty chasm?
Just gonna like,
or it's gonna go, and you just keep getting earthquakes and earthquakes. And it's just literally gonna like.
Well,
you're gonna see the ground lower.
Well, with the way you said it, it's like pressurized, what, like liquids going into the rock?
Well, picture a lot of stuff is down under a lot of pressure. You got a lot of rock above, and even if it was a gas, it would have probably liquefied or solidified down there and compressed into whatever rock or gravel or whatever is under there. I won't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say I know. But when you take that out, something's got to fill it. Now, a lot of stuff that they pump into it is chemical that is hydrophobic and hydrophilic. The reason why they do that is they need hydrophobic and hydrophilic. It likes water so much that it keeps the water away from you, and it hates water so much that it keeps the water away from you. So what it is they pump that down in there, and it allows the drill to get down further, and then all that material that they pump down in there is able to really separate the gases from the rock, and it comes up.
So like, say, I'm just gonna take a paper. So like,
there's not much.
Say like, this is like half the paper is the ground. You like go down and
you use that
or something like that.
You use that so the drill bit can get down far enough.
Okay.
Because remember, you're drilling through solid rock.
Well, yeah.
It's gotta, and you're gonna go through drill bits.
Steel like screw kind of thing.
But you need something to be able to, because when you drill, you have to be able to pull that stuff out. But rock's pretty frictiony. It's very rough. It doesn't like to go out easy. So you have to put in something that will make it wet, but wetter than wet.
Wetter than wet.
So picture a water droplet, right? So you have a water droplet sitting in your hand. Normally it flattens out, right? And
flattens out around there,
but there's still a bubble. There's still
like
now picture a chemical that when you drop it, it goes and flattens out over your entire hand. There's no bubble. It just flattens over your entire hand and it just drips. That's increasing its wetness, making it very, very, actually a really, really good, I can't remember what this word is called. Anyway. And then there's a second way, is where you can make it to where you can coat your drill bit in something that makes it to where water does not want to touch it at all. So picture putting a droplet.
So it's like taking like
picture a drop,
okay.
putting it on your hand and it hovering above in a drop, but it's hovering just above your hand because it does not want to. Like literally, it's probably suspended by one.
That is wicked.
Yeah, so you can do that. There's stuff like that. There's coatings you can put on that in order to keep water from attaching.
Like I'm gonna go a little even more chemistry on you. So like it's almost like like you said, the water droplet just splashes on your hand. It goes all over your hand, and then you put that whatever that like what is it? I guess oil or something like that, or it's
no, it's not the oil. It's literally water.
So it's water on water. Or is
it's a coating. It's a coating.
Oh, it's like the coating.
I can't tell you what the coating is, but it's a coating that. When you put
it's like opposite charge kind of thing, and it's just like
no, it's not opposite charge. It's just it's so hydrophobic, this coating, that the water does not want to be on this coating.
That's so weird. That's like
that's the easiest way I can explain it.
That's like a magic trick when like the magicians are like,
oh, it just beads right off. It just comes right off. You know the special waxes that they use for the cars in order to keep water from going on it and causing damage to the paints and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Similar thing, except picture a really, really, really good wax. Something where water,
like almost like military grade, like really like.
You can take spray paint and paint on it, and you just put water on it, and it'll just whoop. It won't even stick.
I need some of this for my car.
It exists.
Right?
But yeah. So you use that.
Shit on my car at all. My car is black.
You use that material in order to drill down, and then that material, of course, stays down and down there. And it fills up whatever crevice, whatever, but you gotta figure, again, it's really slippery, as you can see. And then it attaches to one surface, the other attaches to the other surface, and now you have a layer of hydrophobic material where it's like, so like the plates will just move anywhere.
You can put pressure on it in any way, shape, or form, and eventually it's just gonna give way.
It's still gonna give way because, again, it's not the natural gas, or it wasn't the liquefied or even the solidified natural gas that's down there.
That's like keeping that area prone to, like going back to like even when
it's friction. You're removing friction and you're replacing with something that's not as gritty, is what I would call it. So it's not as gritty, so it's not able to hold it as well. You're basically taking 2 pieces of sandpaper and then replacing it with paper. So it's kind of like the sandpaper would be like, and then you replace it with paper, it's like, that's pretty much what you're doing.
So then that'll, I mean, I would assume that would like...
That would cause the earthquakes.
Yeah.
Now the other thing is, what happens if you drink a substance that's in your groundwater that's hydrophobic? Your body will pick it up, but then you're not able to pick up any more water.
Well, there goes dehydration for it. Or hydration, sorry.
Pretty much. I mean, your body eventually
cause you to
get
get
rid of it, but
yeah.
you can get cancers, you can get cysts, you can get rashes and red spots and...
Damn, that's like a damage to public health. What the hell?
Well, it is. But again, some things that people look at in politics is they look at this.
Money?
It's not really money at this point. It's the natural gas is there, and it's going to be able to afford people to be able to live, right? So this goes into, again, money with economics, yes, but the real underlying issue is we need the natural gas because so much stuff uses it and so many businesses rely on it that if you get rid of that and they have to switch to the other stuff, it'll cause economic problems and it'll cause more problems. So they're trying to get cheaper energy sources and cheaper this and cheaper that.
Like, I mean,
and then they think, well, how many people is it going to affect? And this is where the bad numbers come in.
I was going to say,
Because you got to figure.
the same go bad either way.
A good example is in Tom's River.
Yeah.
My grandmother, she has lived in Silverton. There was a landfill there. There was a landfill there. And people were dumping stuff all the time in there. It was fine.
Wait, where's that being Silverton? Do you know?
Right around where I think High School North is.
Oh, of course.
Wait, actually, no, that's not Silverton. Is that Silverton? I know it's on 37.
37?
It's on 37, and you're going down past the mall, and you go down to the high school, and then if you continue further, you're at Ocean County College.
Oh, you mean Hoover Avenue?
Yeah, Hooper. That's what I'm thinking of. So, in the area around that spot was a landfill, right?
I would not be surprised if Ocean County College was on top. That thing's hilly. That place is hill.
I don't know exactly where the landfill is, but my grandmother used to tell me they used to have the landfill down there, and then
Fact check. You look that up
if you want to.
Yeah.
But what would happen is people would dump all their stuff there, and they just dump recklessly. But what happened is all the stuff that was in there would seep down and got into the groundwater because they never put a layering underneath. But when you do landfills now, you have to put some sort of an impermeable layer underneath.
Like
back then, they didn't know about it. But the thing is, it would leak down into the groundwater.
I was gonna say even too about
and it caused cancer. In
about the radioactive. You know, where they put all the radioactive stuff. They like the what is it, the Yucca Mountains in Nevada.
Oh yeah.
And they don't even use it because it's all paid for and everything. But nobody wants to put it there. There's not one piece of radioactive material there. But that's where they test all. That's where they do all the testing and everything like that. That's where it was supposed to go. I just learned this like in class like last Wednesday.
But the problem
learn
is,
something here, Frankie.
But the problem is people will put this stuff down there, and because they don't think nothing of it. This is what I see with fracking. It's basically the landfill in Tom's River. People are just dumping all this stuff down there because it's the easiest way to get the gas up. But at the same time, they realize it could cause problems. But the question is, how many people are going to help out by saving their bills over the winter, and how many are going to get sick? Well, that's pretty much.
That was gonna be my next question. Is like
that's the
since I mean nowadays you have to put that I guess layer or whatever, like that barrier underground when you do the landfill.
But you can't do that with fracking. You have to use a whole different kind of material that could raise the price of the gas coming out.
Well then wouldn't it be beneficial to go for alternative energy like solar, tidal, wind, whatever?
Yes, but the infrastructure is not there yet.
True, it's still like
it's going to
embryonic
take
stage right now. It's like still like being brought up, right?
A lot of people don't understand that
No, that's what I'm asking. I only know so much.
It's
you know.
it's not like we could just build everything up and have it all ready to go, done, and then we're good in like 10 years. No, you'd have to have. I'll put it this way. There would have to be a lot of people that would just be investing into this and not caring that they're probably going to lose their fortunes just to be able to put all this stuff up and all this infrastructure up. Back during World War I and World War II is a different story because
wouldn't right now be like a good time to invest in renewable energy? Because I mean, from what I've researched, like
invest. If you're a stock person and you got some money to lie, go for it. Go.
Disposable income. There you go.
Just take $1,000 and throw it in one. Take 1,000, throw in another one. Take 1,000, throw in another one, and just let it build up. Like right now, if you want to invest in anything, invest in renewable fuels. Invest in.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because it's going to have to change that way eventually. I mean,
eventually, but when?
Shoot. I can't tell you.
Wait, you can't?
I can't tell you.
Well, it's like I don't know if this is a touchy subject for you, but like everyone says, oh well, if we,
even when the guy that's pulling out the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, as I was telling you before, you can look this up. I can't remember what it was, but I remember I posted a video on my Facebook. But what it is a company, again, pulls carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, turns it back into a hydrocarbon using solar, but then is able to sell the fuel, which is at the same price as if it was being dug out of the ground. And he's still able to make profit and pay his guys. So the thing is,
awesome though, because you're removing a lot of the CO2.
You're basically making a plant that's a big ass tree, and you're able to turn the energy from that big ass tree into a liquid fuel that we can all use, that we currently use today. It's the same exact stuff,
like we said,
but it's pure. As in, there's not enough.
When you're taking, like,
it burns better.
The atmosphere.
It burns better, and it's a lot more
the
efficient.
Infrastructure, which is powering everyone's homes and stuff, and you're making money.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but that's literally like sustainability right there.
And chemistry-wise, the fuel that's coming in and being made is actually more pure than what we're getting out of the ground and distilling. So it's
less processing, right?
Still, not as much processing. Not as much processing, but it depends on what kind of fuel you're trying to make.
So, like, say I'm trying to do it just like that guy, and I somehow grab the CO2 from the atmosphere, put it into that process, and then give it to people for power their homes, keep the lights on in this.
But the thing is, again, it's the fuel is technically, even though it's still used.
Well, is that feasible? Is that what I'm asking?
It's very feasible. You just build more plants. It's still going to generate. You put a plant in the desert, and then you put a plant in the rainforest. You put a plant in New Jersey. Well, New Jersey you might get more back. You put a plant in California. It doesn't really matter because it's still going to be about the same generation. Because it's pulling it out of the atmosphere. Basically, again, it's a mechanical tree. But instead of...
I was about to ask you, what kind of tree is it to do that?
No, a mechanical tree.
Oh, okay.
Picture a mechanical tree, like tree, T-R-E-E. Alright, picture a mechanical tree where it's pulling the carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, and instead of making oxygen for us, it's making fuel that we can use in our vehicles right now that use gasoline, diesel, and all this other stuff. Well, maybe not the diesel, mostly the gasoline. The diesel you can get from biodiesel. And again, biodiesel, I think I was talking about earlier, biodiesel is one of those fuels that's really nice. You can make it using feed that you've grown. You separate the oils. Then you can take ethanol, Everclear. We're at a bar, so you can take Everclear and use that to separate the glycerin backbone off of the fatty acids in the oils. The way I see it is, you know how vegetable oil is thick and greasy?
Yeah.
Well, imagine vegetable oil that looks like water and runs like water. Something like that. So it's not as thick and greasy because you pull glycerin out of it. Now the glycerin can be used for soil remediation. I mean, it's basic. You can use it for. Oh yeah, sorry. You also need potash. Potash is basically wood ashes that have been boiled again over, and you get like this white powder. And this powder is used to make biodiesel. Now, the nice thing about the biodiesel is biodiesel will clean your diesel engine. It will pull off all the gunk from all the old fossil fuel-y diesel, and it will clean your engine. Your engine will actually
As
run
it's
better.
actually working too.
Yeah, you'll have to actually go through several fuel filters because you'll start seeing all this gunk coming off the engine.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
amazing stuff. And the best thing about biodiesel,
I'm guessing they
If you
have
make
that
it
now, right? Or
the
no?
best thing about biodiesel, yes, they have it out there. But the best thing about biodiesel is if you make it with ethanol, you can put it on your salad and eat it. It's
So it's
vegetable
edible.
oil,
So
but it's
edible,
without the glycerin. It's
but
edible.
you can also use it for your car. That's so
And depending
weird.
upon what
Like
you
the-
use
the
for
way
the
that goes.
biodiesel, and depending on what you use to make the biodiesel, whatever seed oil you use, your exhaust will actually smell like flowers. Or French fries, depending on
That's
where
pretty
you get it
cool,
from.
though.
So, I mean, it's good stuff. But yeah, fracking. That's what we were supposed to talk about.
No, we're good. I mean, we're still talking about it. Like,
But
so-
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different fuels out there. It's not just gasoline, diesel, kerosene, and that's it. You can use a lot of different stuff for fuels. In fact, one of the things is with electric vehicles, the only reason we haven't shifted completely yet is we need better battery systems. Right now, a battery in an electric car is pretty much, I would say, about half its weight.
I'm sorry, say that again?
When you look at a battery in an electric car, the battery is usually half the weight of the vehicle. So if you can cut that down significantly, it'll be even more beneficial.
So like
Because then
almost
you
like
get-
hit like
Because remember, you still have to expend energy to move that weight. If you can have a battery which is smaller and lighter, but has more energy capacity, you'd be able to get a car on electric sorry, my brain.
it's all good.
It is. But if you can get a battery that's lighter and safer,
Excuse me.
then you can use that to push the vehicle longer distances because it doesn't have all that weight from the rest of the other battery to push it along. So you can make lighter cars that can go further distances.
So so in a way, it's like
The technology
we
is
had
getting there.
the back in the day when
We've had electric cars back in the 1900s. They existed. We didn't go into them much because everyone went to your biodiesels and your gasolines, or basically your ethanols. It was ethanols and it was your biodiesels. That was diesel. Diesel was biodiesel. But then something happened, and of course oil was found, and then they decided, oh wait, this is a lot easier to make energy, so they did that. And the other thing about, actually this even brings up another good point. The reason why we still use oil-based fuels, especially when it's dug out of the ground, is because it's a lot easier to control. If you have control over a country's energy,
you can do a lot of damage to them.
yes. So if, let's say, someone were tomorrow invent the electric car that used a solar panel to run, and it was such an efficient solar panel that you could put it on the roof of your car and you could drive anywhere without ever refilling, ever. Right? Think about a car like
There's
that.
so much money on gas.
Yes, but guess what?
God.
If you're not going out to get gas, are you ever going to stop by Wawa?
Oh, not as much.
Yep, so business goes down there.
Well, besides maybe
if you're not
getting a
getting
sub or a
gas,
quesadilla there, because their
what-
quesadillas are actually kind of good.
well, what about all the people that work on the rigs? What about all the people that do the oil and all the other stuff and have to work in that? What about the fact oil is also used for plastics?
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people
Everyone-
almost instantly would just lose their jobs
True.
gone. Like, just gone. There wouldn't be a need for it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, once you go to renewable energy, there's not going to be a demand for oil.
No, but
anymore.
everyone needs to learn how to shift from
Everyone's-
that
The
to
shift
more
has to
maintenance
happen.
and building.
Everyone
And that's
has to
what
be
the-
on board with the whole shift. of
And that's what
energy,
the that's
that's
what,
a huge thing.
that's what the government is trying to do, and that's what they're trying to push business leaders
Are they
for.
trying to
is
do it, or are
shift.
they working on it?
Honestly, they are. They are.
No, I'm
trying.
asking because, like, when you say trying, just a
Even under
it's-
Trump's administration,
it's
they're
like a
still
little
trying to
nitpicky
push
thing
them.
where it's like when you say trying, that like implies doubt. In my personal opinion, like
Oh,
when you say trying, it's like you're implying doubt. But when you say, "Oh, we're working on," it, meaning we're making progress, it's still going. But
well, there is progress being made, but at the same time, they're trying to shift people over because the thing is, a lot of people. Good example is the coal miners. Coal mining gives you black lung, gives you all these other problems and health issues, but
that's
they still
public
go
health
off.
101 example.
But they still go off with coal mines because
Yeah.
that's all. Those are the jobs that they have. They figure, let's say you moved out in the coal country and you've lived there with your parents and their granddads and then their granddad's, and you've been living there for forever, and this is your family home, and this is the biggest job that's out there. There's really nothing else. There's nothing to replace that. And then when you get rid of all the coal jobs, and now these guys got to move, and you got to figure you've been there almost your entire generation. It's like for me, I travel, I go everywhere. I've moved maybe, and the thing is, I'm not even a military brat. I've moved at least 12 times in my life. I'm only 28, so I've moved pretty much every other year, except the last couple years haven't been as quick. But not a lot of people can do that. There are people that can't deal with that change.
Mhm.
Because you go to a whole new area, it's like it's all different culture, it's all different speaking mannerisms, mannerisms, all different speaking mannerisms and cultures. Not a lot of people can't handle that, and that's why.
Well, not a lot of people can probably travel as much as we do.
Well, I don't.
Everyone's situation is different.
Yeah, I mean, some people are locked into a location because of situations, and some people are freely more able to move around. In fact, I decided for once I'm actually going to get a house, so I decided to buy a house in Mount Holly, and I'm just going to stick there. I mean, I put in for the long haul. I got a 30-year mortgage on that, so I'm like, I could probably
the place
pay.
that you have right now, or you're going into a different.
No, in Mount Holly. I moved there about a half year ago. Well, actually, no. It would be about 8 months ago now.
Is this the one with the whole comment you told me about?
Yeah, but I mean, apparently that's a thing that's been ongoing, but it's getting better.
No, that's good.
So, but the thing
You
is,
don't need to suffocate with it. It's not a good one.
yeah. But anyway,
We want your knowledge and you to be here, you know?
it's all right. I moved in the area because the people are really trying to build the place up. It's like, good example. There's machinists, there's glass blowers, there's crafters, there's clothing people, there's cobblers. You know what cobblers?
Yeah, shoemaker.
Good.
The cobbler's on Netflix, so I've watched it like twice. I'm like, oh, I know what this is now.
There's a lot of people that don't know what a cobbler is because they've never seen one before. There is a cobbler shop in Mount Holly.
Ooh.
They make shoes from scratch. And you can get custom ordered shoes. Granted, they're a little expensive, but the thing is, you can always go back and fix them.
Size 11.5, let's go.
Oh yeah. And they make custom pediatric shoes too.
Really?
Oh yes. They still have, the thing about Mount Holly is they still have tradesmen. And it's a small town. You can walk to all of them. There's a stone place. There's a so you got your stone place, you got your bar, you got your machine area, you got your breweries.
It's not even like the peach cobbler either.
No, they got everything there. Whatever you need. It's an inventor's paradise. And the other thing is, they also have smaller shops. Like we got a soap making guy over there who makes soap, and he knows all about like the whole biodiesel stuff. And he just opened a shop down there. And then we've got coffee shops.
You're gonna have to give me his contact or I'll have him on the show. What's his name?
I can't recall his name. That's the problem. But I know
The
his
guy
store
who
is right
makes the
there.
soap, you're gonna be on the show next.
I'll have to pass you over to him, but he's the homemade soap maker, I think. Homemade soap making, his icon is like a cow or something, but it's pretty cool. So he'll use milks and dairies, and he can't say this, but he'll put in certain oils, like, you know how you have problems with
So
mosquitoes?
you don't have to like give his.
You know how you have problems with mosquitoes, and then there's certain sprays or oils you can burn and all that stuff. He adds those oils into the soap, so you wash yourself with these soaps, and mosquitoes and gnats and bugs won't bother you.
Me and my buddy are actually starting a bug spray company by the beginning of next year. So I like know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so he adds all that stuff in, and
That's
he
pretty
can't
cool.
say it because it's not been tested, but at the same time you're using the same oils that the bugs don't.
You give it up, bro.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not like he has a patent on it.
Sure.
So, but the thing is
Money invested in it.
nah, it's his soap shop. He's an old chemist, and he just decides to have fun. So he got a space in Mount Holly and is just selling handmade soaps.
That's so cool, though. That's really cool.
In fact, there's a big soap makers conference that there's a guy called Mr. Dunn, D-U-N-N. I don't know his first name because I can't recall it right now, but he always has a talk on that show, and it's a lot of fun because he compares making soap to cheerleaders and bees.
What?
Sorry, he compares making soap and uses a comparison like with cheerleaders and jocks.
He compares cheerleaders.
You have
and
to
jocks.
see the conference. It's fun.
What?
It's funny. It's really funny.
He compares jocks to cheerleaders.
No, he compares soap making to jocks and cheerleaders.
Oh, okay.
He makes chemistry fun.
That's what the show's about, man. Making science fun, man.
Mhm.
While drinking over it. Cheers to that, though. Cheers to that.
Oh,
That's alright.
it's empty.
But
But yeah, I mean, chemistry is a lot of fun. It's just, sorry, going back on topic with fracking again, and alternatives and other things like that is there's a lot of different hands in motion. There's a lot of different wheels. There's a lot of different things.
that whole system is just like going, you know.
It's going, and eventually we are going to be shifting over to alternative energies and fuels almost completely because, but it's not going to be in our lifetime.
I was gonna say, when do you think that's gonna go?
I would say
Because, like,
maybe your great grandkids, because
well,
the damage is already done. The damage is already done.
Say,
There's
how
not
do you
much
feel
we
about
can
that,
do.
though? Like,
Honestly, move off the shore. That's pretty much all I can say is like if you're gonna do
What's
something,
like
you
move
might
inland?
want to move inland. Just move inland, go high, and just understand that climate's gonna change. It's not gonna. It's all this stuff where if we all chip in and we convinced everyone to stop burning this much by this time period, then maybe we'll not flood ourselves. I'm like, it's too late. No one's gonna change that quick. The only way someone's going to change that quick is either someone goes to war and blows up the other person. At that point, that's where it's going to go to.
well, I mean,
But at this point in time,
This
I
is
don't
my
want to
bias
see
right now,
World War
it's like-
III. I don't want to see World War III.
I would rather not see World War III.
No.
How about you, Frankie? Do you want to see World War III?
No, but it's kind of it's gonna happen no matter what. There's wars going on all over the place, and war, unfortunately,
It's
is
all about
population
energy.
control because you have to have war. People are not going to get along. You're always
Well,
going to
we all
disagree.
make
No one's
money
always
off
going to
of
get
that
in it. That's like a utopia, like society where everyone can agree on everything, but it's never going to happen, unfortunately, in the world that we live in.
But the thing is, it's better to have smaller wars and skirmishes than it is to have an all-out world war.
Well, whatever we're doing right now, I don't really see a scenario where it's looking good for us, pretty much. Because I feel like right now, I feel like we're kind of.
Actually, and I'll say this,
Words of wisdom here.
and I'll say this tactically.
Mhm.
The reason why we're out in the Middle East, of course, is for the energy. We want the Saudi Arabians, we want the Middle Eastern areas and the countries to sell us their oil. Because
They have all
eventually,
the control of it.
no.
Yeah.
Think of it this way: if we get all of their oil, we still have oil. So if we bleed them dry of their oil, if we bleed them dry of their oil, even though we're buying it, we still have all of our resources. We import from all these different places and get more resources in.
We still have
That
our own oil resources too. But
Yes.
most of it's all export anyway.
We have a lot of oil. We have a lot of oil. We have a lot of oil. Like Saudi Arabia's got a lot. They've got more than us. But the thing is,
even though Trump wants to expand it too.
but here's the thing: we have enough where we wouldn't have to worry about anything. But we want to bleed everyone else dry because tactically, eventually they have to come to us. But the thing is, it stops their war machine. Plus, we're the only neighbors we got really is Canada and Mexico. So,
Sean.
But that's like the whole thing going back to like
Yeah.
the whole shit. Like, there's like a documentary called Gasland. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah,
that's about the whole thing about like, you know, government coming to this guy who lived in Pennsylvania and he was living on top of this huge gas reserve and they were going to pay him like millions of dollars to be able to just come in and pretty much
own it.
Yep.
They just want to own it. They don't even really want to use it. We don't want to use our reserves because we want to hold on to whatever we have.
Well, yeah, it's all about control. If you control it, you're in charge of it. You know, you are
Yes.
the one who's exactly. It's like you said. People are gonna come. Then you have people coming to us, and they can't run the way that they run because they don't have it anymore. So we're like becoming the
And there's a
producer
reason
in a way.
for that. There's actually a reason.
We
for
want to become the
Like it's marketing. You know,
It's not even just marketing. It's the fact it's national defense. If your enemies can't have access to energy and resources,
they're gonna come to you since you're not.
No, they can't do anything.
Huh?
they can't do anything. I mean, you figure, we had the Twin Towers. They blew up the Twin Towers. All right.
But then I feel like
sad situation there.
at the same
But
time,
that's 2,000 people compared to a full-scale invasion.
Yeah.
but they
That's a whole. That's a big difference.
then you have a problem with people trying to get in and come here to pretty much take it back, take it over, and do anything they can. I mean, what do you like right now? I mean, this is not even completely. It's not related at all. But like the whole caravan that's coming up right now,
They need to get
thousands of
out of
people,
that area
because they and
where is that?
I feel bad because that's America's founded. Like it's funny to see like you don't want immigrants in the country, but that's what America
I was
is.
gonna say like that's what we were founded.
Yeah,
as.
so it's like they're closing the club down. And, like nobody gets.
here, you know, like that's why that part doesn't make sense. It's like we're throwing people out even though we already invited them here. Well, historically speaking.
I think it's because back in the days we needed people to come down here in order to populate the area, and now we're at that point of
And now we're like
population where
overpopulated.
we're not really
New York City.
overpopulated.
It's just too many people in close
It's
proximity
a
of each other.
condensed area.
And I mean, we have enough problems as it is, and the more people you add to it, the more problems that does add into it. Because imagine this, all right? You have 10 jobs. You've got 10 kids. Each kid can have a job, all right? Your kids now have kids. There's still maybe 15 jobs now. But each kid now has 2 kids. You got 20-something people. 5 people aren't going to get a job because there's no work for them. Or they have to cut themselves down. So each job pays maybe $25 an hour. Now, because there's an influx of people, they're like, oh, well, these people can get hired. They're willing to work for half that, so we'll hire them. Then you fire the guys that are getting $25 an hour. But then the other guys who are only getting 25, they go to someone else, and they're willing to pay half of what they did. So in that, more people are working, but getting paid less. Get it? So the more people there are, the less you're going to get paid over and over. And eventually there's going to come a point at where we're now where there's not enough jobs that pay well enough to be able to even support rent. Where you in order to get to a place where if you really want to make money, you develop a trade, you get good at it. You go to an area
So you pretty much have to become a specialist at something, so then
You go to an area where you're needed. Yes.
Exactly.
You need to be a specialist to go in an area where there's no one there, and it's just going to be either you or someone else, and people are going to go to you, and they're going to pay you well because they know you're going to do the job well. And then you eventually hire that way, and people come in, and you can still pay them well because people are paying you well. But when you have too many people, one, you get overworked. Two, now you got to hire a lot of people, but you can't pay them well enough because there's only a certain amount these people can pay because they don't make enough. So you're caught in
That's a whole problem.
But it's all about energy.
Yeah.
It's all about energy. And this is why fracking is going as it is, because, well, this is supposed to be about fracking, but in the end, fracking is just one part of...
It's like one of the small components of the whole thing.
Yes. And it's
everything's
and even as bad as fracking is, there's a need for it. That's why it's being used. It doesn't matter if people are making money off it or anything like that. The problem is that people are making money off it, but they still have to pay the guys that are out drilling, doing the labor. They're making good money, and they're bringing it to their families, and then their families get to use it, and they get to go to college and school, and they can do all their stuff there. They can start their businesses and hire more people and all that. Because if you don't have that energy coming in, when energy stops coming in, everything stagnates. Or it gets a lot slower, and then you get problems. People start getting health problems and all that stuff, but also getting the energy shouldn't have to cause people health problems. There should be a way to get energy and develop energy without causing those problems.
Causing problems to public health.
But then you go into the
But then that also, like, if you
That's
don't
a lot of
have
why
any-
like sustainability and renewable like energy resources like focus on like biomimicry. Say take photosynthesis for instance. Doesn't do anything to it's efficient for the plant, so they want to take. That's like using like the photo. Oh my god, I can't.
Photovoltaic.
There you go. Thank you. But that's the whole thing. Is like the answers kind of lie. It's all in front of us. It's all just kind of reverse engineering the way that nature works and putting the pieces back together just to make it work for us.
See, what I would like to do is I would like to develop shingles where, you know how what is it?
For the roof. Because you're giving me a look like I don't know what you're talking about.
You know how
shingles as in.
You know how Elon Musk is making those solar shingles that you can install?
Oh yeah.
Picture solar shingles, but at the same time, one of the biggest problems with housing is the fact a lot of people make them really tight now, so you need to have like a ventilation system and all that. So what I was wondering is, can't you make a secondary roof? So you have on one side where all the solar is, where the sun's going to come up and over. So you have all your solar shingles there.
The most part of the roof that's going to be hit with the
But then on the other side, you can divert a little bit of that energy from the solar roof and put it towards oxygen generation shingles, or shingles that use kind of like a living shingle, where you...
Well, almost like a granite kind of thing?
Almost. But what it is it's kind of like a mossy type shingle-ish thing where it allows moss to grow.
Yeah, I was going to say, like
or a type of engineered moss where it's able to generate more oxygen off of maybe electricity or something. Or better yet, even just a machine or a building product that can generate oxygen using that electricity.
Well, that's kind of what fuel cells are. Fuel cells is just taking the hydrogen out of like from just water.
Something like that, but put it on the roof of a house in order to increase the amount of oxygen in your area, and put that in cities where you've got bad pollution. So basically you got pollution, but now you've got these oxygen generating shingles, or stuff that'll take the stuff out of the air, the water out of the air, the moisture, and turn it into pure oxygen, and it'll take the hydrogen and it'll just, well,
I mean, it's like, a lot of those like green building and LEED certified buildings have like, not something that's like that, but I mean, they're all super efficient with indoor air quality, water, energy efficiency. I mean, heat island effect. It's all like into one. And so what the whole like like the I guess that's just like one piece of the big mosaic, pretty much. And
Yeah.
like they want to make eco communities, and that's what a lot of people do. Even with like the gardening, like they do the vertical gardening, which would do the exact same thing. Would take the same. It has the same idea where you put enough plants in, purify the air, and for like those areas that are exposed to a lot of pollution, like in cities.
Yeah, I mean, heck, that'd be a great spot to put these
Green roofs, let's go.
carbon reclamation machines in order to develop fuels.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in cities because they're all spewing carbon dioxide anyway. Get carbon reclamators and turn that carbon back into hydrocarbons again. You can then use it to power your cars. It's full circle.
Yeah. I feel you feel really bad for the people who are on the outside of the city because I think it hits them the hardest. Like in Hong Kong, they have in like China.
That's just
terrible.
And they don't even make it there. It just drifts in.
Well, all that air pollution comes from other places.
Yeah, it all drifts
For example,
over
us.
and collects. It all drifts over and collects.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the atmospheric current.
Look at California.
And this also applies to fracking because you need energy to frack, and then all of that, I guess you could say exhaust.
In the end, we all get the energy from the sun. It's all from the sun anyway.
That's
so
why,
it's
that's
like,
why we have to get our solar panels more efficient.
yeah, that's.
But solar is also like in the very beginning stages of it. So.
Yeah, you don't see any like savings until about 5, 10, 15 years.
Again, it's batteries. The problem is batteries too. We need to develop solid state batteries. I want to call them solid state batteries because it's basically two solid objects. It's not a liquid. It's not an acid or anything not liquid acid or not something that can crystallize and short itself out. No, I'm talking about an actual solid battery that would be something similar to a Leyden jar.
Well, I mean, Tesla they have those power wall things. It's like a huge battery that they fit in for homes because for the electricity generation. But that's being able to store energy like that would be great if you could do it with wind energy. That's the only drawback with that is because you have to once you generate energy, you have to use it.
The biggest loss in electrical is heat will cause you to lose.
But you can also capture heat as energy as well.
Yes, but what I'm saying is when we're talking about batteries, right? When you store the energy into the battery, over time the battery will short itself out. Let's say you don't want that. You want a battery that can store as much energy as you can within its structure and be able to release it over time. But the problem with electricity is if it's too cold, you lose your charge. If it's too hot, you lose your charge. It has to be kept at a certain temperature. So, that said, we need more reliable batteries that where you can freeze it to absolute zero and it will still work. Well, maybe not absolute zero, just above.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Or-
if it's absolute zero, then we'll all be dead, right? I mean,
No, I'm saying structure-wise. And then heat it up to where even if it's just right below its melting point, it's still able to function.
yeah.
We need batteries that
It has to be like
that
very
good. We need really good batteries.
Like
Yes, we need
it
really
could
good
withstand
batteries.
extreme temperatures and still run fine.
I would say Earth-like temperatures at least.
Earth extreme temperatures.
Yes, Earth extreme temperatures. We have to be able to make batteries that can withstand Earth extreme temperatures.
Extreme.
Exactly. So that's the biggest thing there. If we can do that, then electric.
Dude, so many more doors will open to that.
Well, then electric would be even more feasible.
Exactly.
By then, it's like great, done. You don't have to really go into anything else anymore because, heck, you can even do spaceships on electricity. You can use plasma.
Plasma?
I think plasma. Hold on. You can basically pull stuff from space. What was it? An ion engine? Was it?
line?
No, what it does is it makes heat by crossing. You basically take electromagnetic wave radiation or something like that. You take radiation, you take beams and go around kind of little thing. It produces like you're basically using up the electrical energy and you're trying to turn it into a certain waveform where when it's at a certain point it's able to push your spaceship. But the thing is it's so weak that the only place it would work is in space. So you can use electrical energy to generate movement in space.
That's insane.
But it's like, if you're on Earth, it wouldn't move you anywhere because of friction. In space, it would work because there's nothing really stopping you from moving. So you can actually accumulate, and eventually you can go maybe half the speed of light or something like that. But it would take a long time to get to that point. But at the same time, it just builds up and builds up and builds up and builds up and builds up, and eventually you'll get to that point. But it's not like a rocket engine where it's like, yeah. I can't remember what it was, and I think it was the ion engine, and it was developed, and it does work. I think they use it in certain spacecraft. I think it's used for.
Dude, you're like blowing my mind right now. How much you freaking know, dude? Like, oh God.
And it's more like it's a lot of accumulated knowledge of just random stuff all over the place. The problem is trying to combine it all into something useful.
Hence a solution for the environment.
Yes.
Here's to that, man. Here's to the environment, man.
Alright.
Cling to the environment.
There's nothing in here.
Just play along. It's all good. It's all good. And I still can't get over dude, your outfit just looks like freaking snazzy as hell.
Thank you.
No, you look good, man.
Thank you.
And by the way, also, digging the mustache.
Yeah.
How long have you been growing that thing?
A month.
Good. It's looking good.
I'm the kind of guy where if I don't shave for 24 hours, I get at least
Just like
I get an eighth inch of stubble. I get about an eighth inch of stubble every day. So after a week, this will go from here to here if I don't shave. And the mustache is like, it just keeps going. I don't know why. I've been trimming this down and I can't.
I mean, it's a cool look.
And it curves naturally too, so I don't have to worry about
There you go. no gel or anything for that.
it. Don't need it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't need it.
That's what's up, man.
I will say this, no one likes mustache in their food.
I don't think anyone likes really generally hair at all. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still attached to your face, and you're going like, ah, and then you gotta eat like this. You gotta basically, right? And then you gotta eat your food.
Get a little mustache lift.
Mustache lift, exactly.
It's like people go for like their facelift, just mustache lift.
I gotta eat my food, so hold on. Eating a biscotti, drinking a coffee. That's why straws were invented, because of mustaches.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to have that milk all over.
They're making paper straws now, but there's also a lot of places now.
Why are they doing paper straws? Just give me bread straws. No, seriously, straws made out of
general,
no,
just for the plastic.
Seriously, just take like a piece of wood, right?
Yeah.
And then you bake a piece of bread, and you put the dough around, and you just wrap it around the piece of wood. And you wrap it. You basically make it, and you just pull it over.
Well, they make edible straws now too. I'm not sure if it's bread.
Bread would be better. You know why?
I mean, I wouldn't mind bread.
You know why?
But it would also be a little soggy after
No. You know why?
Oh, here comes the method here.
Think of it this way. You got hot coffee, right?
Yeah.
And you got like a French bread piece. It's hard. It's really hard. It's like a hard piece.
Dude, that would change breakfast for me forever.
But think about it this way. Seriously. And then you get like, let's see, this is a pen, but picture as a steak. You put the steak through, it's like a piece of timber wood or some piece of wood that will cause splintering. Or even a metal piece. You could use like steel or something like that. You just slide it in.
Put
the dough around it.
Molding.
You put the dough around it. You mold it around, and then you bake several of them at a time. And then after that, you pull it out. You pull a steel ball. The end of the piece of the rod would have like a ball around it. You just pull it right out, and then once it's dried, you just take it and you throw them all up, and you're ready to go. And
Well,
then
how would you make that durable for?
Continue.
How do you make that durable?
Here.
Yeah, like how would they?
Have you ever had French bread?
I have.
Do you know how hard that stuff
I'm
is?
just asking the question, man. I'm just asking the question.
Durable. It is what it is. It would be perfectly durable. I mean, it's
that would be
stiff.
awesome.
It works. You just need one.
Hey, I'm not knocking on the idea. I love the idea, dude. You know how? I think that idea would work. For
And then when you're done, you got fiber. So you have your coffee, and then you
And you
drink
got
your
fiber
coffee,
for the
or
day.
so you drink your
When?
even
When?
milk. You throw milk in there, hot chocolate. You throw hot chocolate in there, and drink it all up, and then you go and you're done.
You got your breakfast food and drink all in one.
Yes,
Convenience and deliciousness.
yes. So you gonna patent it?
Whole other idea.
I don't think you could patent that. I think someone already come up with that.
I'm sure someone has.
But what I would do is I would open a bakery and do that.
Yeah. There you go. Well, dude,
Smoothies.
we could go on for a whole nother topic.
Smoothies.
Thanks for being on the show, man.
No problem.
This was freaking cool. I'm so happy you made it too. I was like, Chris, I know you.
I'll make it. I'll make it.
But
It's
you
just a
told
good
me
distance.
Friday when I emailed you. So I was happy. Thanks so much for being on the show, man.
All right, good to see you.
Thank you for watching The Drink Sustainability. Warning: as you watch this show, be sure to clink at your own risk. Drinks may not appear the way they seem.